Yes. Today, we need to talk to Susan again. A lot of people have been reading her, picking her up, listening to what she has to say, and all of us are getting the same answers because it's from her. But I think I want to know more, now that she knows more, that she's been in the spirit realm for a month now. Almost. I want to know what she's thinking now about when Barry's going to get caught, and also where she is and how long it's going to be till they find her. A lot of people have been talking about this, and I kind of answered it before, but for some reason, I think it's really important for all of us readers and other people who care about this. I think it's important that all of us show the world that we're all getting the same thing. We don't know each other, we don't talk to each other, but the cards say the same thing, and Suzanne's helping us. It's kind of funny that her life, the one that she's made a Christian life, that would be the one that is showing the tarot to be true. But God works in mysterious ways, and obviously we don't understand all of it either. But it will be important for us to find out what she knows. So I'm going to use 2 decks again. The Illuminati deck. And the Goddess deck. It's hard to get this one out of here. My little cat's here with me, but she won't lay down. You might see her move through the screen. I don't know. She tried to step on it a few seconds ago. She's very interested in this. I usually shut her away from where I'm doing this, but I just don't feel like doing that today to her. She's the only animal that we have because she wouldn't let us have another cat. We brought her home an orange boy to be friends with, and he wasn't that much older than her, but she hated him so much that she bit his throat and stalked him and made his life miserable until he hid in a small space unless he was going to go to the bathroom. So we had to give him back to where he came from, and now she's alone. We call her the lynx huntress, or Poopy, because she won't cover her poop because she's the only cat. It's really annoying. Okay, so what we want to know is about Susan, from Susan, to find her, and Barry and the mistress. We want to see what's happening with them. Obviously, the mistress isn't hardly part of this. This is all about his will to be a certain type of person, and he wasn't going to let Susan get away with whatever he thought she slighted him as. But let's see what happens here. So, Barry is the Prince of Pentacles, Prince of Coins. The mistress is the Seven of Pentacles. We've seen these 2 cards for Barry before. 6 of Wands, 8 of Swords, and Magician. So what's going on here we already have seen, but this might give us a little bit of answer. So pretty much Suzanne she was starting to celebrate, but she still thought of herself as stuck in that marriage because of her Christian beliefs, and also because she did still love him in some way because she was a good person. I think people are forgetting that no matter how she feels now, she felt like that for a long time. She felt trapped for a long time. Obviously, with the Eight of Swords, we see that you can walk out at any time. But she didn't. For whatever reason. Many reasons, probably. And the Magician here, that's the person that has everything. They use everything they have to deal with how they're living. So she pretty much became a jack of all trades to deal with living with Barry and being a Christian woman and having her charity and being a good relative, somebody that people could depend on in the church. But she was starting to realize that if she wanted to get out from under all of this, she would have to leave the comfort of the church, perhaps. And now she was finally ready to do that because she had her charity as her outlet to be helping people. This says that the mistress is younger than Barry and Suzanne, and that she's been trying and toiling to get to a point where she could be with a richer man because she is tired of dealing with whatever job she has. Also that most of us believe she's pregnant. I believe she's pregnant. And that is why he felt like he was under a pressure cooker with the money. I don't believe he loves her. Suzanne, does he love her? No. So, what's going to happen to her? She'll have a bunch of other opportunities. She'll be able to take care of herself. It'll be fine. This is showing what another person I just listened to talked about, that Barry has relatives that are helping him, and they're somehow connected to this woman. But they don't necessarily know that she's with him. And because he's had to be a hermit this whole time, it's been really difficult for both of them being away from each other. She doesn't want to get known. She doesn't want people to bother her, of course, or anything. But she does miss being with him. But she's also thinking, maybe I should just split because this is getting way out of control. And if so, we may never hear about her. But Barry's going to jail. This is just saying what he should have done. He should have been temperate and looked to the end of what would have happened after he did all these things. And the wheel. He took his chances, but he failed. And this is his daughters. They just want the truth, and they'll fight against him if need be. He knows that. Now let's find out more about where she is, where her body's at, where we can find her. We can maybe send someone out her way, because Barry might come up with a scheme where he wants someone he knows to find her, and he'll pay them, and it'll be some kind of setup where it looks like he could never have done it. Maybe we need to hurry up and find her before that happens. I think that's Trevor, the nephew of Barry, but let's see. Okay. From what I see, this is talking about a family, about both Suzanne's family and Barry's family, and how they all came together as they should have, in a really good, solid way. And everyone involved has been, with the family, has been able to feel like they are their real selves, their authentic selves, and do what they need to do to get by in the world and become successful. They all felt like when they come together as a family, it's a valuable thing. And Barry used to feel this way. So this is saying the Fool and Six of Swords. So beginning to start on a journey. So Barry went on a journey away from his family because he didn't remember where he came from. And now he's all about his passions. He's a slave to his passions and what could come from that. Three of Cups again. And Queen of Pentacles. Okay, this is Suzanne. So these two are talking about her as being a very, very solid individual who has created things around her that are abundant. She's been able to have friends and celebrate, and with her daughters and her husband, it used to be really good. Now she's gone, but she still treasures these things. Alright, so the Seven of Wands is discord. It's like fighting amongst yourselves, a little bit of chaos going on. This is being poor, and this is having willpower. So this is another part of Barry where we see that he thought being strong was to push his will on everyone else, and he did not want to go back to being what he thought was poor. It's a little bit different than what I'm saying that, because I don't understand how he thinks of money, because I've never had as much money as he does, that I made myself like he did. So I don't know what that's like, but it became something so important to him that he started fighting his family because of it. Okay, and this is saying fighting again. If he would have thought and just waited, the justice of the court wouldn't be coming to get him, and he would still have the love of his family. He wouldn't have been fighting, but instead he tried to get this love instead of a mistress. And now judgment will come upon him, and the truth will come upon him, and his heart will break. And what he has built will fall down. Now, Suzanne, we really want to know where you are. I appreciate that we're going through the story, but we want to find you. Please help us. Help us find you. I mean, if this is something we're not supposed to know because of some certain reason that we don't understand, I'll concede, but we want to know. Okay, this is saying the good family. Okay, is it by water? So it's by a childhood field where there's water or a spring that starts up. I have to give them something. Okay, well that's Barry. Where? A field. You or me. Celebration time. Is this in Indiana? How'd you get there? Deceit from Trevor? Took you on the raft? Oh, that's smart. This is crazy. Okay, so once again, are you in Indiana? Heavy burden. Travel. And from what I'm seeing here is that Suzanne's body was taken by Trevor or someone else in a raft down the Arkansas River to a place where her body was then put on in a truck of some sort or van and then taken to the Indiana property that Barry owns, and she's buried there by a field that's a soybean field or cornfield. And the thing about it is that he has just a few days ago, the 1st of this month, 1st of June, he filed in absentia to get legal power of attorney over everything that Suzanne owns because she's missing. And he wants to make sure that he's in charge of everything that he owns, especially if he wants to sell it. And we'll see in the future if he sells it or keeps it, because either way, it'll be some kind of gamble that he thinks is going to pay off about her body. This is just saying that he has infighting and things to juggle, and he thinks he knows the truth and he is the truth, but judgment's coming. He's going to regret what he did. Right now he's surviving by telling himself it's okay. Sometimes he does know that he was wrong and he repents, but those are far and few between. So his kingdom will only stand for a little bit longer. Suzanne, can you tell us when your body's going to be found? The lovers. Who's going to find? So maybe this is saying a beggar is going to find, or a vagrant is going to find her body, and it's going to be found when Barry is made to tell, because the police will interrogate him into telling, because they'll say, we won't kill you if we won't do the death penalty if you say where the body is. I'm happy with that's what those cards mean, but I want to double check on this deck just in case I don't understand. So this is another thing about the Lovers saying it will come from Barry. And the daughter, he sees Barry as the king of love. We'll find out he's the king of money. And then she'll tell everyone the truth. And she'll understand who Suzanne really was. And who she is meant to be. So Suzanne is caring about what happens to her daughters. But she also is free now and is happy to be so. Thank you for the reading. And yeah, you're an empress now. Are you with Jesus? The Prince of Passion, Prince of Power. At rest. Yeah, and you're Juno also. And you're the Pope. So, thank you for coming to us and helping. I want to learn more, and I want to be 100% sure. So, let me say it all again. What happened was, this is from another reading too, but what happened was you were getting ready to divorce Barry because you knew that he had a mistress that was pregnant, and you're just sick of it. You had your charity and you knew that's all you needed. Your girls were almost done, and you hated living under what he wanted you to live under. You wanted to have a pretty pink cottage, etc. So you were very interested in leaving, and Barry saw some papers in your office that's by the bedroom. And it was dark in the bedroom, and there's a light on in the office. You were in the bathroom. He saw that this was Saturday night. He saw that you were wanting to leave him, and that you were putting money into the charity section of the accounts. He was very angry, and you guys started yelling at each other, and he either hit you on the head or he shot you in the head. I don't know that, but it was your head. He didn't hit your body or anything. And so then you died, and he hurriedly put you in a tarp and called Trevor to come and help. They put you on a raft, and Trevor took you down the river and then took you to a transport who took you to Indiana and buried you by the field, at the corner of the field in the forest, which Trevor, I guess, maybe he had help, and he buried you. And so when the police came and found out that you were gone, from the daughters and the neighbors saying that you were not there, they looked for you and found your bike, which Barry had planted to say that someone had got you or abducted you, or maybe a mountain lion had got you. And immediately Trevor went into the spiel that Barry told him to say, and then Barry said his spiel a week later, and then they disappeared because they didn't want to deal with what had been created. They couldn't deal with. They didn't know what to do at that point. So they both tried to lay low and make sure they didn't get in trouble. Trevor's doing this because he loves Barry. He loved you too, but he just doesn't want him to get in trouble because he knows he has rages and it kind of gets out of control. And in the next few months, the police will get Barry to confess, and he'll say where your body is, and you'll get to be buried in Indiana where you want to by your mother, who is already gone from cancer. Is this correct? Yes. The High Priestess Wisdom. Thank you. I feel so much better now. Well, I hope we get to see you one day, and you really have caused a great stir in our country. I really don't know why all of us want this right now to be something that we are champions of. We really care about you, and we see you as somebody that this should not have happened to. We're also just sick of this happening in Colorado. This is like the 50th time that a wife has been killed by a husband because he just doesn't want to get a divorce. What is with that place? It takes 2 years exactly, and then the husband goes crazy and kills every single time. I don't understand. 2 years of moving there. Thank you, Suzanne. We'll try to talk to you maybe later, and we will await Barry's arrest. This has been TBS. Have a good night.